So I just want to highlight three things that we've talked a lot about so far, and just give some concrete examples. And I know this group likes pictures of maps, so I did my best. This is an image that we have borrowed from the Ecology Action Center, which graciously let us use this. It's a great image that when we make this presentation to senior officials, this one, and just the aha moment goes on. So this is land that's for sale. It was for sale last year. Probably still is for sale. In the South Shore of Nova Scotia. Looks like a great piece of coastal property, and that's it during a storm surge. You know, that picture is worth 1,000 words. You show that and say, okay, this is why we need coastal development standards. So we're not making stupid decisions about where to build and then paying the price afterwards. Another great image that we like to use, and this is one that especially near and dear to folks in the town of Yarmouth. This is a product that's come out of the Regional Adaptation Collaborative, which we'll hear about later today. And this is of Yarmouth Harbour. And if you know Yarmouth at all, this is downtown where the cat used to come in up here. And here's the waterfront along here through Yarmouth. And I just want to point out here, this is the regional hospital here. Just so you know about that. And if this works, it's going to be a bit of an animation here. And so this is using LiDAR and digital elevation modeling and flood modeling that's recent as of a few months ago. And I'm going to stop it right here, a little bit more, right there. And so you can see this actually, so this is 4.5 meters above normal sea level. And that is the recorded sea level during the Groundhog Day storm in 1976, which some of you may remember. I do. I remember it well. I was 1 year old. But you can see part of the waterfront, it already is underwater, right? So infrastructure is damaged and everything. Now, if you take the projected sea level rise of a meter within the next century, let's see if I can get this back. You'll see the bridge to the hospital is washed out, and you've got more damage along the waterfront here. So it's a really, it's a great image. Again, this is an image that really resonates with senior decision makers. Really say, okay, yeah, it's not a matter of if it's going to happen. It's certainly when, because we've seen similar flooding models. And I'll just run this out so you can see what would happen if we had a major melting of all the ice caps. And this is like doomsday Armageddon. Unlikely. That's a 10-meter sea level rise. The other image I just wanted to show is this is an example of a coastal access, public access inventory. This is an example from North Carolina. Really simple. It's an inventory of public access sites where they've compiled the different sites around their state and have provided information that the public wants. So, is there parking available? Yes. Hourly parking, not applicable. Are dogs allowed? Is there a boat launch? So it's information that we already have. We already have a system, for example, of boat ramps in the province, and of parks, and of municipal parks. And so the idea would be if we can pull that together and people have a way to access that. COINAtlantic might be the right tool to do that. We're not saying what it's going to look like. It's not going to be a static atlas. Paul, no need to worry. But the concept of getting information in the public's hand about how to use the coast. When we release the strategy, we're going to be asking a series of questions to the public. We're not opening this back up to, are these the right priority issues? We've done that work already. We've already got that feedback through the What We Heard report. And so we're looking for some direction. Are the goals and objectives that we've set, are we on the right track? Are we setting the right direction for the next 10 years? Where we really want to get some feedback is in here, in terms of the actions. What actions are the most important? How do we prioritize? Because the strategy, as you saw, it can be a bit high level in some places, and it's quite broad. And we know we can't do everything to the same degree. So we're going to have to really focus in on areas where the public thinks it's the most important. And also we're looking at, this is really, we know we have a role, but as everyone in this room knows, with integrated coastal ocean management, the province plays a role, in some places a major role, in other places a supporting role. But we really need feedback on, well, what can we do to help encourage and support other organizations? People are going to be able to go online and provide their feedback online through an online survey. This will allow us to, once the consultation period ends, we're going to be able to upload all the public feedback online. So again, it's responding to some criticism we heard the first time around that we weren't transparent enough. So we're going to post all the information that we get back from folks back up online. We're also going to be notifying folks both within sort of certain sectors and organization groups, as well as just sort of a mass email out. So forgive me in advance, because you will get spammed on this, and you can either delete it or forward it on. But I certainly hope you'll forward on to folks in your organizations that do have something to say about this and would be interested in providing feedback. We won't be going out and doing open houses again around the province, but we are going to be making ourselves available for if anybody wants us to come in and speak with their organization or speak to a town council or a community group, we'll come down and do that. Again, like I said, everything's going to be posted up online. As well, we're going to be working with Dalhousie University to hold what we're calling issue experts, working groups. Basically as a sounding board, so we're going to be pulling together 6 to 8 people around each of the priority issues and looking at getting feedback from them specifically, same questions that we asked to the public, but from this group of, it's like the Bob Taylors of the world, the Don Forbes, when we're talking about coastal hazards. Are we on the right track here? Are we getting this right, or did we miss something? Or if we're saying this, like, what do we really need to focus on here? And all that information will be posted up online as well, the feedback from those groups, so there's transparency there as well. So we'll be doing this consultation through October, November, and depending on when we release this, probably into December to allow enough time for this to take place. Our consultations, government to government, are ongoing. We're working through the Regional Committee on Coastal Oceans Management for our federal feedback. As well as through the Union of Nova Scotia Municipalities for feedback from and input from municipalities from government to government. We're also working through the KMK process with the MICMA to get their input and feedback on this. So in terms of formal consultation, I think we've done quite a good job of engaging those other levels of government before pursuing too further. And for the federal folks in the room, your departments all saw an earlier copy of the strategy and provided comments on it prior to us releasing this as well. And then we're hoping for the final coast strategy spring or summer next year, so 6 to 8, 10 months from now, whatever we are now. And the key to emphasize, I think you all know this, the folks that are in government, this is just, in some ways, the start of the process. When we release a strategy, it's a formal commitment that here we're going to do these things, and we want to emphasize that this is not the end of public engagement. It's really the start to working with folks on implementing those actions and designing those actions to make sure, for example, Coastal Development Center is working with municipalities, homeowners, to make sure that what we develop makes sense and what we put in place is manageable and enforceable, etc. I think, yeah, that's it. I just want to leave the website up there.